Let's get started. Today is January 30th, 2025. I'm going to take you through where we are with our updated work breakdown system built on sub-issues, issue types, and Zenhub issue levels. And I'll take you through a number of things today. So first, an overview of why we're doing this. I'll talk a little bit about making sure your issue types are set up correctly. We'll go through a live demo of what's available now. I'll talk about what's coming next. We'll talk about a migration that we have coming up. And obviously, given that this is part Ask Me Anything, there'll be time at the end for you to do exactly that. It is a slightly shorter event today, so we have 30 minutes. So I'm going to get started. Okay, why are we doing this? Well, without any kind of guardrails, without the rules that Zenhub puts in place, sub-issues without Zenhub yields something like what you're going to see, what you see on the screen right now, chaos, right? Left to their own devices, your team members are inconsistent with each other. They're inconsistent with themselves. The work breakdown structure that you would get without Zenhub can almost be impossible for you to connect the dots about how everything is related. Our issue types and issue levels and the structure that provides gives you a top-down, bottom-up understanding of how all of your work, from your initiatives, your projects, your epics, your tasks and subtasks, all relate to each other. The goals and planning panel, which you see on the left side of the screen here, is in early access right now. It will be rolling out, I believe, next week for everybody after we get a couple more things in there. But it is one of the keys that we have added to help you traverse this hierarchy of work. And in order to do that, it relies on a couple key things being set up. So first, issue types, and the second, issue levels. Let me show you where that is. So in your GitHub organization settings, so you go to your GitHub org, this one for Zenhub HQ, ours. You go to settings, you go to planning, and then issue types. In order for your issue types to be available in both GitHub and Zenhub, you should create these 4 issue types: initiative, project, epic, and subtask. And I know in an earlier video, we had suggested objective as the top level, but we've actually, we're going to be releasing some additional content around how you can do objectives and key results tracking, which, if you think about it, an objective is a description, a goal of what your organization is going to do. It could be, we will sell X number of units by the end of the quarter, right? It's a description of what. Whereas a lot of development work will help contribute to that, but it might not roll up directly into it. If an objective is the what you're going to do, an initiative is kind of a peer to it. It's the how you're going to achieve those goals, right? And so as we've been using this ourselves, we found that like having objectives as a peer to the initiatives, which may include product work or marketing work or other things, and then using Zenhub dependencies, and I'll show you what this can look like, is actually, I think, a better way to manage this. So have these 4 things created, and then they will flow into Zenhub. Now, Zenhub organizational settings. So you click on your little avatar in the lower left-hand corner. You select account management. You come in here. You click on issue types. And in here, this looks a little different from the GitHub side because Zenhub has introduced issue levels. So what this means is that these are a list of what issue types exist at what hierarchy level. So if you think of the way that you typically break work down, right? For us, initiative, those are the highest level goals, right? Long-term strategy, spanning multiple projects. A project, cohesive effort with defined objectives, timelines, and deliverables. An epic, it's a lot of larger body of work. It's going to span multiple sprints. And then the day-to-day, the sprint issues, bug enhancement, task, feature, story, whatever you want to put there. And then level 5, for us, subtask. So what this does is this creates the structure that you need in order to prevent your organization from becoming this, right? This structure gives you this ordered hierarchy that through the goals and planning panel, you can traverse incredibly quickly. And I'll show you what that's like in a moment. Why are we having you set these up at GitHub? Two reasons. Number one, so that your issue types are available in both places. And secondly, because the issue types in GitHub, the issue type settings in GitHub require org admin rights. And we didn't want to ask to have the Zenhub app have org admin rights. It seems like that's just a little step too far. We have been working with GitHub all along on this project, and while they may change there and allow issue types to be created by non-org admins, as of right now, as you can see for GitHub, these issue types are still in preview mode. So as of right now, just go there, set these up. It's a one-time thing, and then you'll be done. And then after you set them up, a few minutes later, you'll see them right here in Zenhub, and you just slot these in at the right level. Now, you can see here that each level has a default. Now, for levels that only have a single type, that's obviously going to be the default. For levels that have multiple types, in this case, level 4, bug enhancement task, you can set one of these as the default. So we've set task as the default for our org, and we've also set it as the new issue default. So if you create a new issue, by default, it's going to set it to a type of task. What is this going to mean? So it means that as you start to break your work down, when you create an initiative and you create a sub-issue, by default, you're going to get, in this case, our case, a project. When you're in a project and you create a sub-issue, by default, you're going to get an epic. When you're in an epic and you create a sub-issue, by default, in our case, you're going to get a task. Whatever you have set for your level 4 issue will be set there. And when you're in a bug, enhancement, or task, and you create a sub-issue, for us, it'll be a subtask. You can set these up however you'd like. You can name them whatever you want. Our suggestions are based on what we have learned, both from ourselves, we've been doing this a little while now, and in working with companies of all shapes and sizes. This kind of initiative, project, epic, task, subtask, pretty common across organizations that have scaled out. So the objective and key result tracking, I'll show you what we're thinking there. But as of right now, this is the suggested hierarchy, but you are free to set it up however you'd like. Okay, let's get into a live demo. Okay, so here I am at the board. A few things to note right away. you have the issue types shown on the cards. You can filter the board by different types of issues, right? So I can filter by issues of no type, issues of bug. I can filter to be whatever I want. You can see right here, this issue has sub-issues. So this tells us at a glance how many issues there are that haven't been started, how many issues have been started that are in progress, and how many have completed. You'll also get a roll-up of any points that have been assigned to those issues. So if you and your team use estimation, you use planning poker, you add estimates to your issues, those will roll up as well. And that can be really important to understand the difference between how much work remains when we all know that not all issues are created equally, right? Some are harder than others. Some are more involved than others. Being able to roll up the number of points, very important for you to understand where you actually are in terms of progress. Okay, so let's click into this issue. So you can see here that there is a table down below with a list of sub-issues. So you can see the kind they are. You can see which repository they are in and the issue number. That's very important because one of the key benefits of a Zenhub workspace is that it allows you to bring issues from multiple repositories together into one place. And when you've done that, there can be issues that have similar names across those repos. This makes it crystal clear exactly where those issues live. You can see the labels, you can see the status, whether or not they are completed or not. You also get a count up at the top, and from any of these, you can just kind of click through and navigate. Now, one of the really cool things that I use all the time is under the right sidebar, the parent selector. If you click the word parent, it will bring up the selector for parent, but if you click the actual parent, it will navigate back to the parent. So it allows you to very quickly drill down, read through things, and then click back and forth. Great for navigation, unbelievably quick to get around. Next, there is the quick create at the bottom of the table. So I can come in here and I can add an issue. I can say document the recycling center data model for our public facing doc. Okay. Now I can set this to be a certain issue type, let's say subtask. I can add a label, say documentation or anything at all. This is a test instance here. So let's say, oh, I don't know. We'll pick one of these support request, and then you can assign individual and then or multiple individuals, and let's click create, and there it is. So the cool thing is that after you have set these, they'll stick so that if you want to create more issues that have the same settings, the same issue type, label, and assignee, you just come in here, blast through it. It's so fast. You can also add existing issues in here. So if I just start typing at least 3 characters, it will search for existing issues. And from here, I can say, you know what, I want to add this one to here. Now, if this issue already has a parent, you'll get a dialog that says, you know, all right, this is the current parent. Here's the new one. Do you want to change this? And I'm going to say yes. And here it comes. It is so fast. Okay. Let's show the new goals and planning panel. So over here on the left, you'll see goals and planning. So what do we have here? This is a hierarchical navigator that shows the level 1, 2, and 3 issues over on the left, and allows you to very quickly click, have them open up, and then you can see the sublister there and use that. Or I can come in here and any of these I can filter to see the next level down or show all levels down. So for example, if I want to see what's going on with the admin portal, see where everything is, I could just click and I can see, aha, okay, so we got 5 in closed, 1 in review, and that most of the work now is in the sprint backlog column. There's only a few things in the product backlog left. This is making progress. So you can very quickly have an at-a-glance understanding of exactly what's going on by hovering over the little progress donuts. Now, these show you the same thing that you'd see on the card, shows you the number of issues that haven't been done, the number of issues that are in progress, and the number of issues that are completed, along with a roll-up of all of your points. Now, if I were to look at this exact issue in GitHub, actually would show you that 0 out of 3 were complete instead of 29%. And why is that? It's because GitHub only gives you the counts for the next level down. It's one of the like hundreds of reasons why like the Zenhub experience is like 10x. So you can drill down from here, and as you can see, like you're not necessarily limited to 3 levels. Like you can nest these as well. So we will just keep going down from here. So the planning panel, oh, there's some sort options here and some filter options and a search. The search is great because if you have like a long hierarchy, you just want to find a couple of things, you can just come in there, type search, and it will, like for example, if I just type admin, it will just filter this to show just the work related to the admin portal. It's very fast, super helpful. So let's go on to what's coming next. So the goals and planning panel should be out next week for everybody. It's already in early access, and thank you for those that have sent in feedback. We are rapidly squashing those bugs that some of you have found, and that will be coming out next week for everybody else. What will be coming next? Our refreshed timeline view. So the goals and planning panel, which when the timeline is available, you'll see those donuts change to show you red, yellow, green color coding based on completion of the work, given the start and end date of those items. So start date, end date, they will be coming to projects, objectives, initiatives, projects, epics, and then that will give you the red, yellow, green color coding from there. You see the timeline looks like a refreshed version of the roadmap that we have today. And you're going to have more levels of hierarchy here. The existing Zenhub roadmap has only ever had 2 levels of hierarchy. You've told us, many of you have told us, we ourselves have known that that's not quite enough for organizations that have scaled up. So we're going to give you the ability to have multiple levels of hierarchy on the timeline. And from there, the timeline is a few sprints away. So we work in 2-week sprints. Today is, January 30th. We're looking at rolling this out in mid to late February, probably. It's well underway already, but it'll go out to the early access crowd first, and then to everybody else. And then beyond that, once the timeline is out, we're going to migrate existing Zenhub projects and Zenhub epics to level 2 and level 3 issues with the issue type of project or epic. And we're waiting until the roadmap can transition to the new timeline view so that you have that like long-term understanding and reporting capabilities. So once that is in place, we'll roll that out. And as I promised, we have some time now for you to ask me anything. And if you want me to go back and show something or have questions about, kind of where we're going, anything at all. And we can take Chasen via the chat.
Yeah, chat, or they can also request to ask a question verbally if they'd like. We can unmute people as needed.
Okay. All right. Questions? Okay. So here's one. So the question is, can we move early for epics? You absolutely can. What you can do is you can come in, and if you have an epic, you can filter the board by the epic. Do I have any issues on this one? This is a test instance here. Let's very quickly, let's do a quick kind of test to show you how you can do this. So let's say these okay. So what you could do is you could go through your epics, use the filter the board by the epic, and then select all of the issues, and then use the set parent option to add these to a sub-issue based replacement. So you can do that now. Just one thing to keep in mind, the roadmap does not show sub-issue based things. The new timeline view, which is an updated, refreshed version of our roadmap, will. All right, Chasen, I think we had a hand up.
Yeah, we have two questions actually.
Okay.
The first is, how do milestones impact the new breakdown structure?
Oh, okay, great. So I assume you're talking GitHub milestones here, yes? If so, they work hand in hand. So you can, for example, assign issues to both a rolling up into a epic project initiative and group them together into a milestone, which could be used to track progress towards a release. So why would you want to do that? Think about doing like an MVP1, MVP2 kind of release for a longer term project, right? You could say like out of this project, these 3 epics and all of their children, we're going to put that in milestone 1. These 2 epics and all of their children, we're going to put in milestone 2. So you can use GitHub milestones. You can also use Zenhub release reports, which is like a 10x version of milestone that gives you the ability to generate scope change over time. So the release report is kind of like an advanced version of a GitHub milestone, something to go there. Next question, is it required to have an initiative and project above an epic before it is shown in the goals and planning? Right now, if I set an issue to epic, it does not show in the new view. Interesting. So what I would check, if you go to your account management issue types, I would make sure that epic is listed under level 3. That's the most likely situation, that maybe epic might be set to be level 4. Anything that's level 1, 2, and 3 will always be shown in the goals and planning panel. It's listed on the right level. Interesting. So we will Klaus, if you could send me an email with your organization, just copy and paste the URL that you have right here in this screen. Send me an email with that, george@zenhub.com. And here, I'll just put that in. Send that to me and I'll have the team investigate, figure out what's going on. Because it should be there. All right, so we'll take that offline. So send that over to me and I'll have the team investigate, because it should just show up. If you're talking about Zenhub epics, and not an issue with an issue type set to epic. So for example, if I'm in here, the issue type set to epic and epics are set to level 3, it should just work. And if it isn't, we'll figure it out and get it fixed for you. Okay. We got a minute or two left. Any other questions? All right. All right. Are we going to have additional views that make use of the issue types and levels? Yeah, we're looking at some different views, including taking kind of what we have in the sublist, the goals and planning panel, and combining it with what we have in the sublist. And we're looking at bringing a list view into Zenhub in the next quarter. This is the current mock, and this will allow you to do multi-select and bulk editing with ease. You can also drill down through. So we're looking at building this next. Klaus, we really miss, so hopefully that answers that question. We really miss a great view for seeing subtasks, something like a swim lane view where stories are on the left and subtasks move on the board. Sure. I mean, so the goals and planning panel here can give you that. So if you want, there is a setting under issue types here. You can choose to show level 4 issues in the goals and planning panel. If you do that, just keep in mind that that could make the list pretty long, but it might be an option for you. Additionally, I think, you know, what I have gotten very used to doing is just coming in and saying, all right, I want to see, you know, all of the work that relates to, you know, admin portal or whatever, and filtering the board by that. And that gives me a great at a glance understanding of where everything is. Hopefully that helps. The other thing you can do is, if you want, if you have, for example, so this is an enhancement. Let's just pretend this is an issue type of story. We don't have one on this test instance here, but I could filter by that. Whoops. Filter by that. And then I can actually save that as a view. I can say like story 1, and then that goes under my saved views. And so if I were to do that again for another one, you know, you could literally just have views for story 1, story 2, story 3, story 4, whatever, down the left side there. So a couple different options. It's very flexible. Either use the goals and planning panel and add Level 4, maybe keep it kind of restricted if you want, and set only one issue type at level 4 and then set your others at level 5. And then subtasks could exist below that. That could be an option, or use the saved views to give you the just quick click to filter. Those are always there. So hopefully that helps. And we are pretty much at time. I think answered all the questions. Klaus, send me the org info and we'll figure out what's going on with the Epic there. We'll try and figure that out for you this afternoon. Okay, with that, we'll do another one of these in a couple of weeks when we have the roadmap ready, or the updated timeline ready to go. And hopefully this was helpful. This recording will be made available as well, even with all of all the little gaps that I made during it. So anyway, everybody have a great rest of your day. Thank you for your questions, and we'll see you soon.